Welcome to Subramani. Most of us, at least most of the people watching this YouTube channel, have heard about something called the Marshmallow test. I think Professor Michel, if I'm not wrong, Walter Michel, or somebody conducted a marshmallow test sometime in the 1960s, where he got a bunch of 4 or 5-year-olds and made them sit in a room and gave them one marshmallow. You don't know what's marshmallow, don't bother, don't go to Google. Think of it as a chocolate. Right, so they were given marshmallows and they were told, here is a marshmallow. It was put in front of them and they were told that if you don't touch it for some time, when I'm stepping out of the room, I will come back and give you two. I'll give you one more. So, right, you will have two marshmallows. Well, one of the girls, I believe, finished eating it before the instructions were even given. So, I don't know what she is doing. And then they say that this test was followed up for the next 50 years, and then all these people who were very focused did well in life. They had better BMI scores, they had more money, etc., etc. They did well. Generally, they did well because they were very focused and they knew that they could have patience and they had that ability to wait for the bigger reward. Now, there are many explanations to that. What if I didn't want the second one, right? So, if I'm a 5-year-old kid and I'm happy with one chocolate, I don't want the second chocolate, so I ate it. But I think the most important thing is, what did the other kids do? So, the research is, some kids started playing with their shoes, some started playing with something else, right? So, I think the greatest lesson for me, general feeling is, you have to be distracted during that period, that you don't look at the marshmallow. For example, on an Ekadashi day, it would be very stupid of me to go to a hotel and say, I have Ekadashi, I will not eat. There's too much temptation. You'll say, it's okay, if I eat one bite, what happens? A little bit of salt I need because I've not eaten anything else. You will start rationalizing, oh, I can eat sugar, I can't eat salt, so let me eat something sweet, right? So you will fool yourself into believing. So best is stay away from a hotel. Similarly, there is nothing called being a full-time investor. Many people tell me, oh, my father wants to leave his business and be a full-time investor. There is nothing called being a full-time investor. There is just not enough work to do, right? So 365 days, if I keep watching the ticker, the chances are I will do something which I don't need to do. I will sell a TCS and buy an Infosys, or sell an Infosys, buy a TCS, or sell a TCS and buy a HDFC Bank. I'll do some tinkering just because I have nothing else to do. So if I take a 10-day holiday and go away, I actually do that. I don't even look at the market because in many of these places, I may not be able to access the market and I may be busy doing maybe walking, running, trekking, whatever. I just don't have the patience to go back to the room and check for Wi-Fi and check my laptop for the prices. Of course, I can still check prices on my phone, but I'm not tempted, right? So keeping away from the market in the form of keeping away from temptations is very important. If you keep looking at the market, you will feel like doing something. Right now it is market time and I'm not logged into the market. Should I log into the market? Maybe I will after some time. But if I keep looking at the market, I will feel like, oh, let me sell some of this, let me buy some of that. Oh my God, this has gone up so much, right? Zero ability to know what tomorrow the market is going to do. I will be tempted to doing some action, typically like a trader, right? So if I am not a trader, what am I doing looking at the market on a day-to-day basis? So distracting yourself. Maybe you get into cooking, maybe you get into trekking, maybe you get into gardening, maybe you get into anything else, photography, wild animal tours, anything like that. You go and make sure that you are away from the market for a long period of time. Just like the marshmallow test. The kids who could engage themselves, who could distract themselves, are the ones who did well. In fact, I have a friend who is a doctor, who's a pediatrician, and he says, my job is to keep the parents engaged while the body cures itself, so that they don't interfere with the kid. They don't keep on asking the kid, will you do this, will you do that, right? So that's what he claims is his job, and I completely agree, because the body has its ability to cure itself. Similarly, the portfolio has an ability to cure itself. If you have bought the best shares, if you have invested in the top 20 companies, top 10 companies, right, you put into mutual funds, etc., somebody else is doing it for you. Why do you need to constantly keep looking at what is happening in the market? Should I sell a pharma? Should I buy a hotel? Should I sell a hotel, buy a bank, right? Or should I buy an airline? Should I buy, all those questions don't have to arise. Somebody else is doing it for you. They're charging you a asset management fee. So you don't need to get into that on a day-to-day basis, on an hour-to-hour basis, because you have nothing else to do. So go and develop some hobbies. If you are old and you are not going to be employed gainfully, go and develop some hobbies, because if you are going to not have any hobby and you have nothing else to do, you don't have travel, you don't have friends with whom you can go out and watch movies, etc., what are you going to do? You're going to sit with your portfolio, tinker around it, and in a year make 2-3 mistakes, which makes your overall so-called cost saving, going to a fee-only advisor, and all those advantages will be nullified with 1 or 2 bad switches that you make. So be careful about what you're doing, because it does not matter how well your portfolio is doing, because when your portfolio is doing well, you may have to be taught not to tinker with it, right? Do not touch the big board there, do not touch. The market is doing its job. So sometimes you have to be told not to do. Sometimes you don't understand that you should not do. You think, oh, by being actively managing my portfolio, I will get better returns, right? Nothing stops you from thinking so. When you don't have enough evidence to prove that that may be right, that may be wrong. So even if it is wrong, you're going to do it because you are the jury, judge, everything, right? So just find out what level of involvement you want, what level of involvement you don't want, and then take a decision based on that as to how your portfolio should be managed. What kind of an advisor do you need? How much interaction you will do with the advisor? Only when you know all that will you become a good investment manager or a good fund manager, or at least you will become good at managing your own money. Thank you.